U.S. police used excessive force, leading to a man dying on the spot. Even after the man fell to the ground, he was still beaten for 3 minutes. What they didn't know was, this entire sequence was recorded by surveillance cameras.
Camera right there, but I don't think he's pointing towards us.
What they didn't expect was, the man was taken to the hospital for only 10 minutes before being declared dead. So what price will the two officers pay? The incident happened in Riverside County, California, at a McDonald's at 7400 Indiana Avenue. Store staff reported to police that a man had entered the restroom for over an hour, and there was no response when knocking. And this call to the police became the most crucial evidence in court.
So, hi, just I want to let you know right now I have one person in the restroom have more than 1 hour inside.
Okay, but do you hear anything from inside the bathroom? Like water running? Does it sound like they're making noises? Anything like that?
No.
Okay. Was it a male or a female?
Male?
Was he white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
White.
The man was identified as Peter Villalobos, 27. A few minutes later, police arrived at the scene and told Peter his restroom time was over.
What? Peter? You've been here for over an hour, and the employees want you to leave. Yeah, well, you're being trespassed because you've been in here for over an hour. It means you're not allowed to come back here anymore. You need to leave now. Hurry.
Spending too long in the restroom could be considered trespassing. However, throughout the report, staff did not believe Peter committed any crime. Their original intention was only to have police come to check on Peter's condition. Most importantly, Peter cooperated and came out. He washed his hands preparing to go home. Normally, this should have been the end. However, the police, driven by performance, were clearly not satisfied with such a dull ending.
Stay over by my vehicle while I verify your identity. Right over here. Lean up against my bumper.
I'm not doing it. I'm not going.
I said lean up against my bumper. Did you give me your real identity or did you give me a fake identity?
My real identity. My name's Peter.
Why are you shaking?
I don't know what I stated.
OS. So you lied to me about your last name?
No, I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
This is Peter. He clearly stated his name a second time. However, with no confirmation, police assumed the name Peter was fake.
What is your date of birth?
I don't remember. I don't have anything.
How does someone not remember their birthday? It's something you celebrate every year as a kid. Well, it seems like you're lying. If you're lying to me, you're going to jail.
From that moment, the police's goal shifted from solving a problem to finding one. From then on, the officer issued many commands, blaming and impatient, placing Peter in the role of a criminal. Even when Peter answered, the officer kept questioning, mocking, and threatening jail, like when your girlfriend tests you. Even your breathing is wrong.
No, dude, I don't know. I'm not even doing it. Why did you throw your for?
Trying to ID this guy for a trespass. He was in there for over an hour, refusing to leave even when I was here, and now he's not compliant.
After a long period of ineffective communication, Peter's mental state clearly collapsed. He kept shouting he did nothing wrong, just wanted to go home. However, just like the second officer, his eyes showed excitement at finally having something to do. When he rushed to support at the scene, verbal commands gradually turned into physical conflict.
Then put your hand behind your back, and then you'll be released once I trespass you and verify your identity.
What are you talking about?
I've already told you multiple times.
Is there anything I can say to get What do you mean? See how you're resisting me? I haven't tried to get out the weapons. I don't know what you have. I have nothing here to talk about. My pocket is here. Put your hand on your back so I can do that.
Police would assign responsibility for the conflict to Peter for not obeying orders. He completely ignored Peter, thus escalating the situation, illegally detaining Peter and provoking him with inflammatory language. He turned an incident that had already ended into a confrontation.
What am I doing wrong? Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back. Yeah, wait, come out. Okay, I'll put your hand behind your back. All right, bro. Okay, bro. I'm not doing that with you, bro.
What's he reaching for?
Oh.
Get him!
At this moment, the recorder ran out of battery, but this scene was captured by McDonald's surveillance. After being knocked to the ground, 2 officers pinned him face down, pressing with their full body weight, and using fists and elbows, striking Peter's head and back for up to 3 minutes, until the officers were gasping for breath.
Yeah, we're gonna get you some water, alright?
Good. I want it.
You alright? You alright?
Hey, that's what
They got a camera right there, but I don't think he's pointing towards us.
When the recorder resumed, Peter was seen handcuffed and leaning in a corner. Signs of tragedy were already clear. His forehead and nose were swollen and bruised, his face full of pain and confusion, but the police still didn't care, until they realized it was captured on surveillance. After being taken to the hospital records showed Peter kept screaming in pain. Although the hospital attempted rescue, unfortunately, he was declared dead just 10 minutes later. After the incident, all parties began following the usual procedure. The chief issued a statement saying Peter Boo was uncooperative and refused handcuffs. They used force to detain him. However, surveillance confirmed it was purely violent beating. After that, the 2 officers were charged with causing death, abuse of power, and intentional injury. If convicted, they could face 40 years in prison. When a law enforcer can arbitrarily use violence to fill gaps in evidence, then anyone could be the next Peter. What do you think about this incident?